Today's video is going to be about tattoos. I've been seeing these videos around YouTube lately of people talking about their tattoos, their experience, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do that. I have 4, and I'll show you them in order of how I got them, the story behind why I got them, or a little bit about the story anyway, what they mean to me kind of thing. The first one I got was on my foot. I don't know if you can see it. It says life, love, peace, and strength, and it's got 3 little hearts over there. I'll just throw a picture in too so you can see it right here. That was the first one I got, and I got that a few years ago, and it was life, love, peace, and strength, the things that I strive for in my life. I strive to live a life. I try to be peaceful within my life, not be stressed out and things like that. I strive for love. I want to not just like romantic love, but like family love and friends love and just human being love. And strength, I want to be strong in my decisions, in my not just in my decisions, but in like the way I live my life, the choices I make, the people that I interact with. I want to be strong. I want to be a strong-willed person, and that's where strength comes from. And the 3 hearts are kind of a personal thing, but when going to get this one, like I said, it was my first tattoo. I was just terrified that it was gonna hurt. And a lot of people say that when you get a tattoo on your foot, it's one of the places that hurts the most. And I disagree. Personally, I have a higher threshold for pain than a lot of people, but it's not like unbelievably high, right? I mean, it's not ridiculous. I don't have some like weird superpower where I can handle pain. But I'm okay with pain, and sometimes I even like it. So I'm one of those type of people. But I was so terrified that it was going to hurt so bad just because I'd never heard that it hurt bad on your foot before I got that tattoo. I just knew it was going to hurt. So I had hyped up the pain so much that when I actually got it done, it didn't hurt nearly as much as I thought it was going to. And I think that's why it didn't hurt. I don't think that the reason the first one didn't hurt was because because I have such a high threshold for pain. I think it was because I'd hyped it up so much that I expected it to hurt a lot more than it did. The second one I got is this one right here, and it's 3 hearts. This one has a paintbrush that's painting the heart. This one is just colored in red, and then this has a music note in it. And again, I'll put a picture in here. And this one I went through a really hard time in my life where I dealt with something really difficult, and I'm still kind of dealing with it today, now, at this point in my life. But for 3 years, I had a huge issue in my life. And the things that helped me get through that were painting, with the love of my family and friends, and through music, through writing music. Those are the 3 things that really got me through it and helped me get to the other side of my problem and start getting better. And so that's what those 3 things mean. And as for the pain of getting it like on my collarbone area, it didn't hurt at all. This one I felt nothing at all. My collarbone's right about here. So like it was basically just on squishy flesh. So I barely even felt this one at all. This one took maybe 10 minutes too. It didn't take maybe half an hour at tops. It didn't take long at all. The next one is the one that hurt. This is the one where I think I experienced everything that people fear in tattoos. And that is the one I got on my 25th birthday. And that was this one. I don't know if you can tell, it is pretty big. It's quite large. It's, about the size of my hand. Maybe a little bit smaller. It's a daffodil, and the petals have like little swirly patterns, and it's actually kind of yellow and pink and orange in color. And then this says miles to go before I sleep. And I'll put another picture in to show you. Okay, and this is the one that hurt. This one is right on my collarbone. Not only does it hurt because I could feel the needle digging into my collarbone. It took about an hour and a half to do, and it's colors on top of colors. So he did the whole thing in yellow after the outline, which the outline in a tattoo does hurt more than color. But he did all the yellow, and then he went in with the pink. And so he's already gone over the whole thing in yellow, but now he's going back in with another color. So he's going on top of a wound. It's like road rash. The thing I like to compare it to, like how it feels afterwards, is it feels like road rash. So imagine you got road rash, and then you got road rash again right on top of your road rash. So that is what hurt. Like, I didn't cry for any of my tattoos or anything like that, but this is the one that hurt. And you know, it's really cold when you get tattoos up here. You have your like sleeve down, and tattoo parlors are cold. So I was cold, and so I was like shaking, but I was trying to keep still because you have to keep still. And so that was, and then when I got home, I didn't realize it until I got home, but I'd been laying there, right? And when I stood up, because it was road rash on top of road rash, like I said, it started to bleed, and it bled a lot. And I mean, it's a sensitive area of your body. It's very sensitive flesh. And there was so much going on that it did bleed, and it bled a whole bunch. And when I got home, my mom was terrified, and I was like, it's fine. I mean, I couldn't really lift my arm for a couple of days afterwards. It did hurt really bad. It was very, very sore. But the story behind it, and it's not really detailed, I guess. I just thought my life would end before I was 25. I was just convinced that I was going to get in a car accident or something was going to happen, and I was not going to live to be 25. So when I got to 25, I was like, well, I was wrong. I'm alive, right? And that's what the miles to go before I sleep is. It's actually from a Robert Frost poem. But it's always a quote I've always liked. And miles to go before I sleep to me is like, okay, I didn't die. I've got a long way before I die. And the daffodil is, I wanted it to be like a meaningful thing. I really liked flower tattoos. I wanted a flower tattoo. Daffodil is where I grew up, like my home, where I lived from like 4 to like 20 years old, was like daffodil capital of like the world or something. I don't know. It's where I grew up. And daffodils were a huge thing. We had a daffodil parade, daffodil festival, all that type of thing. So I really wanted a daffodil. And it took a long time to find the right daffodil. And I like pink, so I wanted pink in there, but daffodils are yellow, so I wanted the yellow. That's like the whole story behind that one. And the most recent one I got this past summer, I believe. Later on in the summer. Anyway. And it's this one. You can't see it again. It says change. Here's a picture. And it's just really simple, just the word change. And what that's from is, it's a Taylor Swift song. And I've talked about this before, how the trip Casey and I took, literally, it changed my life forever. It changed the way that I see some things about my life. And change was literally like the theme song of that trip. We played it constantly. It was just part of it, and it changed my life, and it was just a huge, huge emotional thing for me, and it was a big deal. And I really wanted a memory. I wanted something permanent from that trip. Not just the pictures I took, not just the memories I had, not just like the things that we bought, you know, the souvenirs. I wanted something forever. But those are my tattoos. If you have any, tell me about yours. And if you don't, tell me why you choose not to get any, or what you want if you're gonna get one, or anything like that. And have a good day. I will see you tomorrow.